In this video, we are going to discuss another very important concept from data structures and algorithm, that is recursion. Recursion, a function is said to be recursively defined if the function definition refers to itself. So recursion can be implemented using function. So a function defined by itself, it is what is called recursion. The main properties of recursion: there must be certain arguments called the base value for which the function does not refer to itself. The second property is that each time the function does call itself directly or indirectly, the argument of the function must be closer to the base value. For example, the product of positive integers from 1 to n, it is referred as factorial of a given number. So if you are calculating, there is n factorial, it is indicated by the symbol, there is n and exclamation symbol. So this n factorial is equal to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2, n minus 3, etc. 3 into 2 into 1. But here you should understand one basic concept of the recursion, that is this is a base value. So here this 0 factorial, it is equal to 1. It is the base value. We have the definition for this separately. So it does not refer to itself. So that is a base value. Okay. So I said the argument called the base value for which the function does not refer to itself. So here in this case it is 0 factorial. It is equal to, always it is equal to 1. So which is considered as the base value. So for example, if you want to calculate 5 factorial, it is 5 into 4 factorial. 6 factorial, it is 6 into 5 factorial. If you calculate this is 4 factorial, it is 24. So just to multiply its previous value, that is 5, so you will get 120. So that is nothing but 5 factorial. Similarly, 6 into 5 factorial, 5 factorial value, it is 120. So just we are multiplying the one value that is before that is 6. 6 into 120, it is 720. So value of 6 factorial, it is 720. The recursive definition of a factorial function. So in this case, if n is equal to 0, then n factorial, it is equal to 1. So this is the base value, what actually has taken 0 as the base value. So if n is greater than 0, then we can start calculating. It is n factorial, it is equal to n into n minus 1 factorial. So n factorial is defined by n minus 1 factorial. So that is what is called recursion. We want to calculate n factorial, but n factorial can be calculated with the help of n minus 1 factorial. We are using n minus 1 factorial in order to calculate the value of the n factorial. So that is the formula, n into n minus 1 factorial. So this can be, that is done in two different ways, the iterative algorithm and another is recursive algorithm. So for example, we want to calculate this factorial value. So let us consider if we have to, that is check the condition, if this value of n, if n is equal to, that is 0, then consider the factorial, it is equal to 1. So after this, simply we can return. No more calculation required. If n is equal to 0, so the factorial, that is a base value, just to print the value, that is factorial is equal to 1. Otherwise, initialize this factorial is equal to 1. Repeat for I is equal to 1 to this n. Here we are doing the calculation, that is factorial is equal to factorial into this I. So what will happen, the n factorial value, if it is n is equal to 0, then just print that is a base value, print fact is equal to 1, return. Otherwise we have to perform the loop for 5 factorial, the loop will be that is performed for 5 times. Okay, so every time the value of the I will be taken from this loop. This is what is called iterative. So the iterative procedure can be replaced with the help of the recursive algorithm. So here again we are checking the condition. If n is equal to 0, then factorial is equal to that is 1, return. In both the cases, both are same. The second one we can call. The call statement is used in the recursive function, factorial, fact, and n minus 1 number of times. Then here we are doing the calculation, that is a fact is equal to n star fact, and then return. Okay, so this is the the function. We can write the function for calculating the factorial value. But again it will be that is performed the n minus 1 number of times. Okay, so what are the major differences between this recursion and this iteration? So recursion, it calls itself, but whereas the iteration, it contains set of instructions executed repeatedly. Comparatively, this recursion, it is slow. Okay, but whereas the iterative algorithm, it is faster than the recursion algorithm. Similarly, as far coding is concerned, the coding size is less in case of recursion, but whereas in iteration the coding size is large. The recursion, it uses the principle of stack. So the stack is the principle what actually we are using in the recursion, but it is not in the case of the iteration. The time complexity of the recursive algorithm concern, it is high, but whereas in iterative algorithms the time complexity is low. This can be implemented, the recursion can be implemented using the function, but whereas this iterative algorithm can be that is implemented using the loops. Okay, so in this I have discussed about what is recursion, how recursion can be that is done with the help of I gave an example of this factorial, and I give the comparison between the iterative algorithm and the recursive algorithm, and also we discussed the differences. Thank you. I hope you understand. Keep watching.